Alright, Shalom, Shalom. Real Hebrew Israelite coming week in, week out to prophesy the downfall of America and the society. I want to start out giving all praise and glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders and GMS and brothers that sincerely doing this work. And the few sisters that are listening and learning and being obedient to their husbands. This is the brother Matazawa Union, A.K.A. Mataz. And I'm coming back with another quick video. And basically in this video, man, this young man obviously was raised with some sense. You know, this ain't gonna be a long video. It'll be quick and brief. I'm gonna just let the video play. We're gonna get right into it.
The main reason why people say this generation is cooked because of these new parents, bro. These young kids nowadays have no guidance, and it's actually sad. And it's because these parents want to be friends with their kids and act like that's their homeboy and homegirl. Like, they don't get that belt to ass treatment no more because the system made that a crime.
Let him cook!
I feel like back in the day, kids had a certain amount of structure, you know? Because they knew if they did something bad, they was getting that ass whipping as soon as they came home. And it's a PSA to my mom. I was not talking about her. My mom is not a child beater. The main reason why people...
So, you know, obviously he got some whoopings before. He just didn't want, you know, the people coming after his mother, which is wise. He thought wisely. Like, look, I ain't saying my mom do that, you know. He just thought wisely. But he obviously know that, I mean, being friends with these children and all of that is out of order, you know, and that they supposed to have some type of guidance or some type of discipline. But it's because of you adults, y'all want to befriend your children and want to be cool with them, when the scripture says otherwise. You're not supposed to be, you know, kicking it with your children, being friends with your children. You're a parent. You are a parent. You are created to be a parent. Simple as that. You know, not here to be friends to somebody's children. You know, straight up. It's completely out of order. I got it right here. This is Proverbs 13. Proverbs 13 and 24. He that spareth his rod, that means you ain't using that. You supposed to whoop your child. He that spareth his rod hateth his son, but he that loveth him chasten him betimes. So you supposed to be, you know, you supposed to be able to whoop your children, bro, when they out of order, when they're not listening, because this is what happened when you don't. This what was created right here, man. Let me just get to the point. Cause this was created because of Esau pushing that you shouldn't whoop your children and all that bull crap, which is just folly, because that's not scriptural at all. So this is Romans 1, and I'm gonna get to the point. And verses Romans 1 and 28. And even as they did not like to retain the Most High Power God in their knowledge, the Most High Power God gave them over to a reprobate mind to do those things which are not convenient, being full with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, debate, deceit, malignity, whisperers, backbiters, haters of the Most High Power God, despiteful, proud, boasters, extortioners of evil things. Inventors of evil things, Salakia, disobedient to parents. And this is why you have a lot of these children disobedient to their parents, because you're not chastising them, you're not whooping them, there's no guidance, they're not teaching them right. You know, the scripture says, hold on, let me get that. Here you go, right here, this Proverbs 22 and 6. It says, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. So that goes for your sons and daughters, not just the son, but for both. You're supposed to train them up, man, to the way they will go, so they don't depart from depart from it. You know, they ain't following wickedness or none of that evilness that's going on out here. You know, they on the right path pretty much. But how you gonna do that if you're not training them up the right way? You listening to what society is telling you. And what society is gonna tell you everything opposite. They're not gonna tell you to do right. They ain't gonna tell you to follow righteousness. They're gonna tell you to so-called love, but love is keeping of the laws of the Most High. So they'll give you this false sense of love, or you don't love them if you whooping them, or you doing this and doing that. No, man, that ain't true, and you're not supposed to be friends with your children. This is why they don't listen to parents to this day. They're disobedient, man. That's prophecy, you know, because of the wickedness that happened. And these people is they're not allowing you to correct your children in the right manner, man. They're allowing them to just go astray, you know, and that's just what it is. And it's full of wickedness. And Yahweh Shem Shai do not like it at all. He tired of this wickedness, man. Here we go again. This is 2 Timothy 3:1. This know also that in the last days perilous times should come. And we in them last days. You see in these perilous times, look at these evil times, these wicked people. A lot of death is about to happen, man, here in America because of wickedness. And it has to happen. And our Lord willing, Yahweh Ratazah, that we protected. You know, the elect. Hopefully we are the elect, the chosen. You know, that's what we hoping. That's what we fighting. Are hoping to be. You got it, but you gotta fight and push. It says, for men should be lovers of their own self, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemer, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy. And you seeing that all over. These unholy people, they disobedient to their parents. They're not listening. They completely out of order. Excuse me. Yahweh Shem Yahushua is not dealing with these type of people. And the more and more this society go on, everybody gonna die. Because these children is cooked, man. Look at them. They said this generation is cooked, and they are. They cooked, man. You know, look at where their minds at, man. They don't value anything. They go off whatever they go off TikToks and stuff like that. They following a trend instead of following Yahweh Shem Yahushua. They following everybody else in the world instead of following truth. It's just a lot of wickedness going on, man. And Yahweh Shem Yahushua is going to take this wickedness out. And these people don't want to believe that. They want to walk on and think that this place is going to go on and continue. No, it's not. Look at the world. Look what's happening in the world. You think something like this is going to continue and go on? All this wickedness, evil. These females dressing half naked. You know, tight ass pants and all. No, man. No. And these are the most of the people that raised these young ones. You know, cause look, I grew up, you know, in the I was born in the early 90s. So, you know, the beginning of 90s, you know. And cause I'm in my 30s. I'm in my 30s. Getting close to them late 30s. Say that, you know, everybody don't need to know my birthday and age, my date when I was born. But so it was still like decent. You still had, you know, somewhere the fathers in the home. Cause how I know my stepfather, you know, even though he was in my life since I was 2, he wasn't the best, but he was still had a man figure in the life. And then I had older brothers and older cousins. So I always had people older. But my mother wasn't just no single parent. You know, that's not what just happened. She wasn't a single mother. So I used to see his nephews and nieces, and they had their fathers in their lives. And they turned out pretty decent. I ain't gonna say the best. But then it was one, she didn't have no father. And she was more disobedient, more more wicked, just like the other one. She didn't have a father. More wicked of his nieces and nephews. It was just like two of them, two nieces that didn't have their father really in their life, and they was more disobedient, not listening, out of order, doing whatever the hell they wanted to do, right? More fast, all of that. But the ones that had fathers, they was more, kind of cautious on things. The females and the males. So you go now, going past to the early 2000s, get into the late 90s, early 2000s, you getting all these single parents. They've been raising these children for the last 30 years. And look at them now. Look what you got. And then they want to say, oh, babies raised. No, they're young adults. That's the problem. Y'all keep putting this label on them like they're children. They're not children. Young adults. Now, these young adults, they curious and stuff. They not listening. They do whatever the hell they want. Then you have these mothers being friends with the children. They kicking it with the children. They know they children out here gangbanging and sliding on ops. They talk about, they'll slide my son of woo-woo and all. Look, they proud of this. These wicked demonic females, bro. And then you get all this is what you get. A generation of degenerates. They degenerate. They degenerates. They not regenerating. They degenerating, man. And it's terrible, man. And this place got to be destroyed. And these females got to be destroyed for raising these, man. And now you got all this wickedness all out here. You got these children out of order, not listening. And that's why a lot of them are being put to death. Because they don't want to listen, man. They hard-headed, But it's right here. This is Ephesians 6:1. Children, obey your parents in the Lord Yahweh, for this is right. Exactly. They don't want to obey their parents. Why? Why they don't want to obey? Because the parents ain't putting structure. They not chastising them. And then if they do chastise them, these females, they chastise them out of hate. Oh, you dirty B, and calling them out their names and stuff. I just think that I'm a witness to it. That's not gonna help them. When you get on your children, you don't talk about them either. They was just completely degrading them, man. This is the wickedness you get. And it says, honor thy father and mother, which is the first commandment, which is promised, that it may be well with thee, and thou mayest live long on the earth. And ye fathers, provoke not your children to wrath, but bring them up in the nurture and abundancy of the Lord Yahweh. Exactly. So that's what you're supposed to provoke your children to anger, man. You're not supposed to do that. But and when it says father, that's also mentioned mothers too, because who's raising them? Like I said, mostly mothers is raising these children. They provoke them, all of that. But these children are not obeying these parents no more because of stuff like that. And then these wicked demonic mothers, they wonder why they child is saying all of this or doing all that. But look how you did what you did to them. You didn't raise them right. You beat them. You said this. You did that. You did this. You did that. It was all freaking wickedness. Now you got a whole generation of degenerates. Man, y'all all gonna be destroyed though. But it's just the point, man. The point is, man, this place is completely out of order. There's no structure because of wickedness. And wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth. And this place got to be destroyed. So with that, I want to give all praise and glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakakdash. Double honor to our apostles and elders and GM master brothers that are sincerely doing this work. And a few sisters that are listening and learning and being obedient to their husbands. Keep pushing and doing the work. Shalom, Barakatham, and a Baba.